All right, let's talk about the basics and how to just set up to the ball so that you can get the best chance of getting started really well. So go ahead and set up to this golf ball, and we're just going to talk about what to do even before you pull the club back and before you even hit it. So you'll notice a few things. First, Kenzie's aiming the club face. This part of the club where the ball's going to take off, she's aiming that as close to that orange pole that you can see out there in the distance as she can. Next, she's got her stance, and sometimes you'll hear people talking about taking a stance. This is what they mean. So she's got her left foot and her right foot placed in a particular spot, where if you connected her right toe to her left toe with a line and kept drawing that right down the range, you'd see that's aimed pretty close to that orange pole as well. Now, the part that is often overlooked by beginners that's really important to hit straight shots is really just how you hold onto the club. So go ahead and take your right hand off for a second, and even your left, and we'll talk a little bit about this. So her lead arm, the arm closest to the target, her left one, this is how we'll put this on. You can see a few dots on here. The first one is this silver dot that's on the heel pad of her left hand. She's going to take that dot and put it right on the top of the shaft. That's awesome. Now you might also notice that she doesn't have much of her hand even coming off the club. It's all on the grip. A lot of people grab these and grab so much of the end that their hand is really off the edge of the club. You don't need to do that. Second part is that when she looks down to see the dimple that sits right between her forearm and her wrist, there's a little spot in there you can push on. I've drawn another silver dot right there. That goes on the exact top of the shaft too. So she'll place both of those very strategically on there like that, and just stretch her left thumb down the shaft. Now with her right hand, her trail hand, I've got a dot right here on her index finger, the last joint right there. That's going to push right into the side of the shaft for her, the right side of the shaft. Go ahead and do that. Awesome, and you're ready to go. Now let's face that camera and we'll talk about the part where your hands kind of come together. So you might notice that right now she overlaps her right pinky on top of her left hand like that. Or you can interlock her hands like she's doing there, or there's even a popular way that people grab it where they've got all 10 of their fingers on the club. Any of those are fine. You don't have to lose a lot of sleep over how that goes. Do whatever is comfortable there. The most important parts are where those dots are and the placement on your hands. Let's set up one more time and we'll talk a touch more about the front view here, and we're almost done. So the next part is the angle of the shaft relative to the ground. That's the metal part here connected to the grip. She's got that almost vertical, and if anything it leans ever so slightly forward, but you don't need to push the grip end of the club or the shaft and lean it forward a lot. You can see how that changes the face angle from that view, or push it backward. No real reason for that. Just straight up and down is fine. And then maybe one of the last couple things would be just the aim of her shoulders. You can see how her right shoulder and her left, if you did that same connecting line down the range, that aims towards that orange pole too. So she's got the club face aimed towards the orange pole, her toes are aimed towards the orange pole, same thing for her shoulders. All of that's just normal stuff. And the last part to probably talk to her and how she stands here. So you can see a slight angle in her back aimed towards the ground, her knees are flexed, and then really the weight of most of her is really just put right in the middle of your foot that way. Her arms aren't necessarily reaching out where it looks like she's got to struggle to reach the ball, or looking bent forward so much that her arms are hanging almost between her knees that way. That won't work very well either. So if you follow those basic kind of guidelines, you are now ready to hit these shots. A lot of people struggle with golf problems, and they can be solved right here at just the setup. So if you do start hitting a bunch of bad shots or you're not getting the results you want, this is a good place to start. Sound good?
Yep.
Okay, keep watching the next video. We're going to talk about how Kenzie's able to hit these shots so well and what exactly she's doing to make that happen.